Hi Virgos, and welcome to your November 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming in for your awesome sign in November. So I'm really happy to be here talking to you, Virgo. Thank you so much for coming by my channel. If you're new, be sure to hit that subscribe button below if you enjoyed the reading. So what I'm feeling for your sign as I've been meditating on it intuitively is that coasting through autopilot is really good for this month. I think that as I've talked about all year, your sign is one of the most blessed signs of this year. You're a rock star this year in a lot of ways, and no need really to focus on any turmoil or problems this month. So you've got that Five of Cups and that Eight of Cups, as well as Four of Pentacles coming up, which are kind of giving you more of a, it can hinge on like gloomy atmosphere. The energy of Capricorn and Scorpio coming together that I've been talking about has, anyway, like a dark, gloomy atmosphere. And I think that with Ace of Wands, Six of Wands, and Judgment coming up, you're meant to still kind of be that optimistic, jovial presence. So lots of transformative energy coming in. As a lot of you know, the sign of Scorpio, which is the seasonal sign right now, it is Scorpio season, is the sign of changes, transformation, and overcoming trauma. It's about sex, death, and rebirth. So issues surrounding those topics could be coming up for you, Virgo, and you might be transforming through those topics as well. I do sense that some of you might be feeling a bit lonely, or you might be feeling like even in a relationship or even connected with other people, that there's some bit of a divide or some bit of a lack of the type of intimacy that you need. So one thing about the year of 2020 for everyone is that all that we really have is ourselves. All that we really have is the intimate relationship that we can have within. So if we're really looking for that on the outside, it is hard this year. And that's maybe the only area that I feel that Virgo struggles this year or has a hard time is in the need for relating to other people, or within some kind of social need. So you guys are trying to heal up your confidence through that. You know, like, how confident am I about my own expression? I'm looking straight at that Six of Wands and Judgment energy coming up. There's a transformation in your projection, in your expression. There's a new judgment call about who you want to be, what you want to represent, and even where you are. So maybe looking towards a move or looking towards a change in surroundings. Also, Virgo, you want to watch out for really frenetic experiences. We start this month with Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, and having Virgo energy sextile to the Scorpio energy, trying the Capricorn energy. On one hand, you're very receptive to the new messages coming in. On the other hand, I feel that it can get a little bit out of hand, and you can see that you have a few really crazy things coming up. Like if you were to look at a snapshot of your life right now in comparison to a snapshot of your life like this time last year, I think that would be good to really sum it all up. Like, are you kind of pushing the boundary? Are you kind of pushing outside of what your previous limitations used to be? That could be really good, or that could also be pretty tough. One thing that I have noticed is that some Virgos might be getting into territory that is not really super authentic for them, and they want to watch out for that because this year definitely does test our authenticity. Aside from that, though, Virgo, I think that you're really going to be just gaining so much creative energy, though. With Ace of Wands and Four of Pentacles coming up, it's like you're creating a storage of creativity, a storage of purpose. A lot of you have had a change in soul purpose, and a lot of you are walking into a much more purposeful 2021, it seems like. It feels like you're already thinking really far ahead, which that's another thing that I would say for Virgo is try to really relax into this month. Try to not get too future oriented more than necessary, and try to really do whatever it takes to get your mind as relaxed and calm as it can be, you know? Try to really avoid like addictions to social media or addictions to the screen. This is something that's been coming up for a few of the signs this month, which deals with needing to get out of an attention deficit cycle, you know, like not being able to maintain the same thought long enough to make the decisions you need to make, you know, knowing that something is needing a bit of attention but not being able to focus on it. I feel like this is a very largely involved in our reliance on social media and our reliance on media in general right now, because it doesn't maintain certain themes. You switch really quickly. Like if you scroll through YouTube or if you scroll through Instagram, there are so many different topics that come up that your brain never has to focus on one thing for long. And then when it comes to like real life and we need to focus on certain things for long periods of time, we have a hard time. So that's a really great thing to consider this month and really getting more focused, okay? Because you guys can focus really well and you can relax into it and solve pretty much anything that you need to. Let's talk about the week to week, Virgo. So first week of November, you've got Ace of Wands rooted down by Four of Pentacles. We were talking a little bit about that already, but you're getting a good essence stored up of what you want to do. So your wants change up in the first week of November. You also have a lot of like a solar plexus and root chakra energy, and that's meant to start transcending upwards this month. We really want to start to turn those lower energies up to the higher consciousness while we have Mars retrograde in Aries and Chiron, and we're moving through the collective 8th, 9th, and 10th house. It's important to start to get higher up into the chakral system as well. And then once we get into the new year, we can start to then, sink back down, because that is the natural seasonal way of things. But it's just important to know, like first week of November, try to bring that Ace of Wands energy into the conscious mind. Try to think about what it is that you're really wanting, and also think about what you're holding on to as well. Is there a grudge holding? Are you holding a grudge? Are you hoarding something? Four of Pentacles can sometimes be about hoarding, too much frugality, too much saving. We need to save. We need to be a bit frugal right now. That is good. Like that can suit you in a way too, where you're not obviously being too spendthrift or not, really squandering the things that you do have. So that's good in a way, but try to balance it even more, because in the second week you're moving into 8 of Cups rooted down by 2 of Pentacles, and you're really maybe going through a test of balance. So like emotional balance, also balance of resources, balance of like budgeting comes up, and you might have to make a big change there. It feels like you're walking away. Some of you might be walking away from a job. Some of you might be walking away from a relationship and walking into a decision. So having to choose left or right, having to choose a path through the center, perhaps, and having to really decide how you want to move forward. Okay, so watch out for that. What are you coming from? Because if you look at 2 of Pentacles, behind 2 of Pentacles are those really torrential waters. So that does happen. Once we get into smoother territory, there's suddenly a decision that comes up. And it does feel like the decision that sees you kind of moving into your own more individualistic path seems to be most prominent with 8 of Cups. Okay, week number 3, you have 6 of Wands rooted down by Judgment. So, yeah, really, really big thing coming up. And every single sign has had a very impactful third week of November. Third week of November is one of the most karmic weeks that I've seen in a long time. And it feels like everything that we've been going through in 2020 really coalesces and comes up for us to karmically engage in the third week. So the third week is a testing time. It's also a great week to observe symbolically what is happening in your life, because you can just get a very good, wholesome idea of where you stand karmically and where your current, commitments are taking you. So it's really magical. You guys have some actually more nice archetypes coming up. A lot of signs have been getting 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords, death energy coming up in the third week. And it's really make or break. It's really like tough things that they're going through. But for you, Virgo, it's not that it's necessarily super, super easy, but I think that it makes you more confident. I think that even if something is walked away from, or something is no longer being engaged in the same way in your life, somehow it makes you more confident. Somehow it gives you more of a hope for the future. Somehow you are engaged in a new way. That's why I keep hearing the word engaged. And primarily, I think that it's you like engaging a certain new path. So like new university courses, new career, new promotions, new dating. But it could also be like an engagement of marriage. So for those of you who might be in that position, it feels really wonderfully timed, actually. Anything that is an engagement, okay? Engaging of energy, engaging of ties, anything like that. Also, I would say that there might be a change in image as well. Judgment and because Six of Wands is about the image and about, the clothing that we wear and about how we come off. And then Judgment is about a sudden change or a sudden decision made. So some of you might be changing your style. Some of you might be changing your hair or some type of way that you project, which feels also timely for you right there. So not bad to do that at all. I would say also that it is good to release, because Eight of Cups has just come in the previous week. So, anything that does connect you to the theme of release. So, cutting off excess hair, like getting a shorter haircut, exfoliating the skin, making sure that the materials that you're wearing are harmonious with you. Every type of material has a certain energetic vibration that plays a role with our vibration as well. So think about what you feel good, like what is comfortable, what fits right. That's important for you guys. It's really important for Virgo, especially, to maybe have like a great tailor, or to start to shop at a new shop that carries the type of material that you like. Maybe it's more of a ecologically friendly material. Something along those lines feels really good for you. Small things. Because you're going to have kind of a big oncoming karmic experience where it's like really good to have a few of those smaller things that you can think about or research or focus, and not be so focused on some of these more broad, tough issues that are coming up for everybody. Week number 4, you have Five of Cups rooted down by King of Swords. So you want to keep it logical, okay? You're the first sign that I'm seeing Five of Cups coming up for, and I'm kind of surprised to see it, because I feel you to be quite emotionally stable and, easygoing, comparatively speaking. But I guess that is the way of the world, where the strong, sturdy person, does also have its fair share of challenges, Try to take it with a grain of salt. If there's like criticism, or if there is loss of some kind, I don't think that it's huge for Virgo, because the rest of the cards coming up in your reading are not really denoting anything shocking or overwhelming, but it's maybe more collective, or also just understanding that a lot of people in November of 2020 are having world-changing, crazy experiences. So you could be having a bit of a vicarious thing going on where somebody close to you is having a shocking experience, and you have to, be that sturdy person. Virgo, I think, is probably the first person that a lot of people go to in a year like 2020. Something goes wrong for you and you call the Virgo, because they're really thriving comparatively this year in most cases. So that's really probably how I would interpret that. And that's something to keep in mind too, as you project this very confident, very well off, very, stable personality, you kind of become the person that everybody relies on or leans on or goes to whenever things get tough. And that can start to get, that can take it from experience, Virgo, that can become a never-ending cycle. So keep that in mind too when and this is also where ego comes in, because ego is very growing very tall. I think I said in Taurus's reading that there are egos like Mount Everest right now. And I'm not saying that that's how you are, Virgo, but when you look the part, not of having a huge ego, but of, being really successful and really stable, because that's what ego propels us into as well. It's like, I want to have this position. I want to be this big person so that I'm not affected by all of these quandaries of, people who struggle in life. Like that's a lot of the times the basis of ego is to not struggle and to not have pain and to not have suffering. And it's a signal to people who do have pain and suffering that that's who will help as well. So it's good to have the other side of it. And I do think that maybe someone might ask for your assistance in the 4th week. Try to be as pragmatic as possible. King of Swords is about pragmatism. It's about making very clear, concise decisions that make sense. So it's not about spontaneity or impulsivity or anything along those lines. So really watch out for impulse, you know, suddenly getting something that you've never wanted, or, you know, suddenly, you know, really changing up the way that your mundane routine is like without realizing it, like taking on somebody's, like letting somebody come live with you or something, or letting somebody stay with you for an indefinite period of time. Anything along those lines is not a good time for. So keep it in mind. Keep it in mind, Virgo. Food for thought. In conclusion, though, I think that you are all really leveling up this month, and just coast through. Try to let it pass as quickly as possible. Try to not do anything too crazy or too life-changing unless it's contextual and it's been, you know, in the works for a long time. But again, beware of impulsive decisions, or, you know, really trying to face things directly in an impulsive way. It's a very measured, metered, pragmatic time. And that's really who thrives right now, is people who can be that way. And I think that you really can, Virgo. It's just good to get confirmation of that. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Also, don't ignore any creative insights you get. Ace of Wands and Six of Wands does say to me on the outside of all of this that there's like something that you're getting really passionate about, or something that's really inspiring you. I would focus on that as much as possible and just coast through. So I'm going to put together an extended reading for you all on Patreon if you want to support the channel, and also get extended early and ad-free readings, as well as weekly forecasts every Saturday, only on Patreon. Definitely come check it out. I'll link it below and in the center of the screen. As always, your likes, comments, and subscribes here on YouTube make my day. Let me know in the comments below how you enjoyed the video, or what your experiences are. How is this going for you? And I'll talk to you soon. Much love. Have a great, great month, Virgos. Bye.